Okay, so we're going to take a look at email variables in our email builder. And this is our brand new email builder that we've just released, which allows you to build any kind of lifecycle email with a block-based editor. And one of the features we've added into that is email variables. So this helps you build highly personalized and highly relevant emails just with adding a few different variables into some text blocks. So I'm going to show you that now. So if I add something like a paragraph block in, I can type whatever I want in here. But I can also use variables. So if I type the handlebars syntax, you see I get a list of suggested variables that I can use. We've got things like the user's name, which is, straightforward. Most email builders do that. But we've also got variables based on all of the data that's in your Trophy account. So we've got database of metrics here. So tasks completed is a metrics that I've got in my Trophy account, which is modeling a specific type of user behavior where a person might complete a task in my product. And we've also got flashcards viewed. These are just demo metrics that I've got set up in this demo account, but that could be like a study platform that is tracking the number of flashcards viewed by each user all the time. And then in these emails, I can insert variables based off of the data that I can see there. So you've got like a data structure behind the scenes that your engineers can integrate with and track loads of different user interactions, and then you can build up your emails based on all that data that's going on. And we do kind of all the work around figuring out exactly what these variables should be when the emails are sent, and then filling those in and sending them off to the users. And that really just gives you a very personalized and very relevant data set to use in your emails because it's being computed all the time. So if I try something like flashcards viewed current total, it enters the code for me, and if I hover over it, will give me an idea of what the value is. So currently that's 300. So if I kind of come out of that, you see I get the value 300. And this is just because it's giving me a preview. All the previews for the variables are down here. So if let's move that over there. If I go to the flashcards viewed section here, I can change this to like 350 or whatever I wanted, and the email will update. So this just gives you a nice way to preview exactly what would happen in different situations. So you can kind of see what the emails look like. If I, some of these aren't used yet, but if I add in others, if I added another paragraph block, for example, I can do change this period. So if I try flashcards viewed, change this period %, and I close that one, I get a plus 100. So this one is a plus 100 here. I could change that to 50, and that would update the email here. Again, just a preview. At send time, this will figure out exactly what the right numbers are for the user it's being sent to and pre-fill that for you. But you can kind of just figure out exactly what you want the design of the email to look like. So this is quite powerful, really, because we're pre-filling and figuring out what these numbers are ahead of time, and you can just design the emails to be static, and then it will work for all of your users all the time. There's a few other interesting things in there as well. So there's percentiles. So this gives you an idea of where the user is in relation to all your other users. So it's quite a nice thing. You can say, you're in the top 32%, or you're in, let's make this a bit more interesting. Let's make that like 90%. You're in the top 90% of users. And I could just build up that sentence here. So I could do you're in the top whatever % of users. And then there you go. That works straight away. So if that was, if that was 60% or whatever, you could build up the exact same static bit of text there, and that would work across all of your users and just show them the relevant data for them. There's a few other bits as well. I won't go through absolutely everything, but that's kind of based off of metrics. We've also got variables for streaks. So we've got, if you don't know what streaks are, they're essentially just a mechanism to reward consistent usage and habitual usage patterns. Different applications kind of made famous by the likes of Duolingo and other platforms like that use streaks to really motivate users to use their platform. Trophy has streaks out of the box, so you can set up daily and weekly streaks and monthly streaks as well, based on whatever your kind of user interactions that you think are important. So you can motivate users to keep using your product. And then in emails, we give you a set of variables that you can use to drop in and kind of show people what their streak is and kind of describe what they're doing within the platform. So we've got things like streak length. So if they're on a streak, you could show them what their streak length is. And again, I could change that in the variables here just to preview that. Maybe it's a 10-day streak. So I could build up a sentence that says something like you're on a something day streak, or if it was a weekly streak I was using, you can have weekly, you just change the word, and that works like that. You could also interestingly add conditions to this and use variables in the conditions. So an example of that here, I've just added a conditional block, and I've got all the same variables here that I can access within the condition. So I could say if the person has a streak, if they're on a streak, I can add a block in here as a paragraph to say you're on a, and then I can do streak dot length day streak. Maybe I say congrats as well. So that's that. I close that. That will show only if that variable has the value true, and if nothing else matches, I can say I can add a paragraph to say keep going to start a streak, and then based on the different conditions, that will display different things. So I've got this set to false in the preview, so it's showing keep going to start a streak. If I change that to true, it's saying congrats, you're on a 10-day streak. So when that email is sent, based on the particular user it's being sent to, if they're on a streak or not, and how long their streak is, you'll get an entirely different bit of text there. This is quite a powerful way of building up, highly engaging and highly personalized and relevant lifecycle emails, without having to, manage the data infrastructure, go back and forth with developers to get this stuff to work. It's just all out of the box, all works. You've got a set of primitives that you can build up data structure around, and then a block-based email builder that you can use the variables in, that's all tracked and all works off the back of that data. So very powerful, lots you can do, and give it a try.